Hey, welcome back to Like Us Beverly Hills. I'm your host, Erin Jones-Wesley, and today we are doing a full play-by-play of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 2. This episode is really about awkward conversations, some of the emotional weight these women are carrying, and a shocking amount of penis-related content for a show that does try to pretend to be classy. Also, this is a family show. I don't know if it's actually a family show. If you're new here, this is where I bring my sporty play-by-play brain to Beverly Hills and track the tiny human moments to see which of these women are actually like us. All season long, I'm keeping score, and at the end of the season, we will crown the most relatable Beverly Hills housewife. It's a science. Now, let's get into the show. So the episode starts, and we get the first viewing of the taglines.
In this town?
Now, they teased these on social media earlier in the week, but now the taglines are a part of the show. And I'm sorry, I did mention this on TikTok, but I have to say it again. Like, what is going on this season? These taglines are not that interesting, but Rachel's vocal fry
I die for fashion.
is absolutely sending me out of orbit. But overall, the taglines are boring. Like, where's the personality? Like, I don't know. I like to think of like Yolanda Hadid's, where she's like, I like to have fun, but I don't play games. Or like Lisa Vanderpump being like, I'm passionate about dogs, not crazy about bitches. Or like even Kim being like, everyone loves a comeback story, especially starring me. And it's not like these women haven't needed to have interesting taglines before. Like Dorit and Erika have had really fun ones. I love Kyle's commitment to the bit, but overall, like, I don't know, these taglines leave a lot to be desired, and I think that we could have went back to the drawing board. I think we could have spent a little bit more time workshopping them, but c'est la vie. So the episode starts, Bose goes to Rachel Zoe's house, and Bose pulls up to Rachel's house looking absolutely incredible. If you have been wondering, how tall is Bose? She's 5'11", so she's a tall woman. She takes up space in her bold personality, but she takes up space physically because she is pretty tall. Rachel opens up really quickly to Bose. She says she's always kind of been afraid of hurting people's feelings, and she appreciates how bold Bose is. She also mentions that when she was in her relationship with her ex, he was making her pretty anxious. But then she gets into the real issue. Her husband was caught in the streets with a new girlfriend just months after their separation. And she was really concerned about what this would do to their business. And I think something that people don't realize is for Rachel Zoe, the Zoe report, for all intents and purposes, is a family business. And so for her husband, ex-husband, her estranged husband, to just be out in the streets with someone new when they have children that are old enough to read tabloids, when they have a business together, I do think that she was right to be worried about their reputation, and not in the clutching of the pearls way, but in a what are you doing way. This is our livelihood. But I don't think it's hurt Rachel's business any, but I also appreciate that she has been so transparent on the show talking about these things. And to me, Rachel's just a pro. She's controlling her own narrative. And I think that that's what we like to see in these women who are high-powered businesswomen who know what they're doing, who aren't new to this. It's about owning your narrative. That's kind of the benefit of seeing these types of women on these shows. Bose is poking more with Rachel about, well, what do you think about Kyle and Mauricio? And Rachel just puts on sunglasses and says, I don't want anything to do with it.
Don't look at me. I don't know a thing.
We then see Kyle pull up to Mauricio's house, and she has a birthday bag, which this is moderately like us. Sometimes you're carrying stuff and you just use whatever bag you have. And if you're keeping birthday bags, or you're keeping, the paper bags at the grocery store, if you don't have a tote, to just like put these towels in these bags. But also, I'm thinking to myself, why is she bringing these bags to Mauricio's house? Like, Mauricio's a grown man. Like, why does he need these towels? And then it becomes clear that the towels are for the daughters that are staying at the house. But then I'm just thinking, Mauricio, why aren't you buying towels for your daughters? Like, Kyle says, Portia said there was only 8 towels here. He's like, I'm only using 1 towel. And it's just, I'm perplexed. I don't understand why. Also, why is Kyle doing this? Like, they don't have an assistant. I have questions about the towels. But then the conversation goes further into one of the most awkward conversations imaginable, because Kyle's sitting across from her, not quite her ex-husband, but like her estranged husband, maybe ex-husband. I don't know if their divorce is finalized, actually. But Mauricio tells Kyle, yeah, the girls tell me to my face that I'm a hoe. She says, yeah, you're in your hoe phase. And then they continue to talk about their dating, and Mauricio taking getting photographed with women in the streets, and he's like, oh, the passion, you just don't know. And she's like, I don't want to hear about the passion. I don't want to hear about your dating life. And I can't think of a conversation I would want to have less than talking to, I can't even imagine having an ex-husband, but talking to an ex-husband about their dating life. It's like, ugh, we're divorced. Workshop this conversation with another person. Don't workshop it with me. And Kyle kind of alludes, oh, I'm single, I'm not dating. And it's just, it's sad. I don't like it. It's great that they could be friends. It's great that they're working on having a blended family, but I do not like seeing Mo and Kyle in this place. And it seems like Kyle's very hopeful that this relationship will fix itself, that it'll get fixed. And I think is still holding on to hope for that. But it's just sad. It's so you want to watch this guy live out his fantasy life that he didn't get to do because you guys got married so young. And then once he gets it out of his system, you want him to come back to, I haven't been married for 20 years, however long they've been married, but it does seem sad. And I want more for Kyle. I want her to like leave him in the dust and say, see you later. Maybe after all the daughters get married, she can just move on with her life. I don't know. This was leading up to Alexia's wedding. So maybe she was just trying to keep the peace, but I didn't like the scene for Kyle. And I want her to live her own life outside of this man who is just continuously embarrassing her. We move forward with Erika and Sutton, who are having a spa day. And Erika invites Sutton to this spa day, which honestly really surprised me. But Erika says that this is an olive branch. And then the conversation gets heavy really, really fast. Sutton asks Erika about Tom, and Erika is clear that Tom is in prison, and she doesn't know if she'll ever say goodbye, if she gets a chance to say goodbye, if she wants the chance to say goodbye, if saying goodbye will even mean anything to Tom, because he's deteriorating so fast that it might not mean anything. And the reality is that Tom is likely going to die there. And she talks this through with Sutton. And after Sutton kind of gets a grab on it, she says,
Oh my gosh, he's older than my mom.
And really not in good health.
He's gonna die there.
I know, babe, I know.
And it's bleak. It's really bleak. Because Erika has now been living inside of this disaster for a really long time. And I think she knows at this point that she's probably never going to get closure. And how sad is that for her? You know, I know a lot of people don't necessarily like Erika Jayne. And I know that a lot of people think that maybe she did know about what was going on with Tom. But I just don't know if she deserves this. And it's, you know, I did read Erika's book. And in the book, it doesn't seem like, and obviously she wouldn't be like, I knew about the whole thing, but it doesn't seem like Erika knew about any of this. All she does is talk about what a great man Tom was to her and what a great life they had and how hard it was being kind of a wife to someone so important and how that made her feel not important. And that's why she created the character of Erika Jayne to begin with, was because it gave her the space and freedom to feel like she could be expressive, because the version of being a housewife that she was very much a demure woman in the corner. And she played that part, and she played that part well. So for this to all go down in a way where Erika has been left with basically nothing, she can't even divorce him because she probably would have to pay him some form of alimony. It really is a cautionary tale. And I think that for Erika, at this point, I mean, if I were her, I know she probably wants to get to the other side of this, but I actually think that there's probably a book about survival, because especially in a day and age where there is so much propaganda about women pushing this trad wife agenda, which, by the way, that's a whole aside, but like trad wives, it's so dumb, because anyone who's pushing the agenda of being a trad wife is making content, and they're making money from their content in this agenda that they're pushing to you where you don't work or make money. It's so stupid. But Erika, for all intents and purposes, was a trad wife, and she did live that life. And a cautionary tale for her is that if you don't know where the money is coming from, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. We move forward to Dorit's house, and Dorit has also her own devastating loss happening with the ending of her marriage. And we get a first cut to her very adorable dogs who are not getting enough camera time. They got some camera time this episode, but I feel like this was really the first time that we're even seeing Dorit's dogs, and her dogs are cute as hell. They should have been in that Bravo commercial with the dogs. We had like Bronwyn's dog and R2 and Kyle's dog, but Dorit's dogs should have been in that commercial. Dorit has cute dogs. Her parents are there, and the parents are there to take the kids. And her mom and dad say, you know, you called us, we're here. And Dorit talks to them about how she's handling everything with PK. And I felt like this was also a like us. Calling your parents when things fall apart, big like us moment. I mean, if you have good parents that can be there for you, it's really a blessing and a trust fund in and of itself. And, I love that Dorit still is relying on her mom and dad in a way that seems like it's something that her kids also really need. Now we move forward to the wedding registry, and we also meet a new housewife in this scene. So Kyle goes to a store with Alexia, and she calls the wedding registry at this very bougie Beverly Hills store to be a rite of passage. And I say this lovingly because I do love Kyle, and I feel like I'm going to be giving Kyle a hard time this episode, but only because she had so much camera time. But what is Kyle wearing here? Like the blouse with the denim skirt combo, it's very 2008 boho, but it's also not, and it's very confusing, and she should have called Rachel. Sutton shows up. Sutton's there to help shop because Kathy's busy. And then we enter Amanda. So Amanda is the new housewife. And we first see that she has an Hermes bag like everyone else. And she also mentions that she will be getting married in 2026. And the funny thing about Amanda is I felt like in this moment we're meeting someone new. And I really liked her. I like what we've seen from her so far. I don't know a lot about Amanda. I don't follow her on social media, so she is a new person to me. But I like her vibe. I like that she talks about that she's like a manifesting queen. So Amanda says, "Oh, Sutton, where are you from?" Because she hears her accent. By the way, Sutton does not ask her where she's from. Sutton says, "I'm from Augusta, Georgia." And Amanda then offers the information. "Oh, I'm from Oklahoma."
Oh, stop. Yeah. I only know Oklahoma when you stop to get gas in the plane.
She basically tells her that Oklahoma is the Foz. And if you haven't heard of the Foz, it's just like a flyover zone. It's like flyover state, flyover zone. And you just stop and get gas in Oklahoma, which is so rude. But Amanda just laughs it off. And again, like I've said this before last episode, but what I like about the Beverly Hills franchise is that these things really do just fly under the radar. Like people throw shade back and forth and everyone just ha 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 moves forward. They don't make it a big stink. Someone saying that a housewife calling another housewife's home state a flyover zone in the way that Sutton did would be a whole issue in another housewife franchise, but not in Beverly Hills. Everyone just, they take it, they keep moving on. By the way, I have been to Oklahoma, played softball in Oklahoma. If you don't know, and this is just an aside, but Oklahoma is like a huge softball state. Like the Softball Hall of Fame is in Oklahoma. It's like a whole thing. The U.S. team plays in Oklahoma. I actually think when the Olympics go to Los Angeles in 2028, I actually don't believe that they will be using the same complexes in LA. I actually think they will be playing in Oklahoma because Oklahoma is such a big softball area, which kind of sucks for the softball girls. Like, let the softball girls be in LA. Why are they separate from all the other Olympic athletes? That's lame. They are going to be in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is cute. It has a little downtown area. It's like a little brick town, I think is what they call it. Shout out to Oklahoma Tourism Board. Sponsor me. Okay, so then we get into Bose and Lael. So we go from one mother and daughter to another mother-daughter story. And I felt like Bose and Lael have such a cute little dynamic. Like Lael is 16. Bose says, "Okay, let me do your hair. I like when I do your hair because I have time to talk to you." They go back and forth between who Lael has a crush on, who she doesn't. And what's so funny in this moment is that we find out that Lael had a crush on a boy that then later went to juvie, and Bose is like, "Oh God, let me lay hands on you. Lord, please protect my child from criminals." And I just like wish that we could cue Britney Spears. Mama, I'm in love with a criminal from Femme Fatale. If you don't know that song, you should. Moving on. What I felt like also was really fun was Lael saying that she likes Keely and Bose together. And I thought that was so cute. But Lael also says that if Keely is going to propose to Bose, he needs to ask her permission. And I feel like in general, asking permission for proposals for whoever is the most important person in your life, is it necessary? No. Is there a gleam of patriarchy in it? Sure. But I do think that there's something just saying, "Hey, loved ones of person I love," if you're in the shoes of the proposee, you say, "Hey, loved ones of the person I love them so much, I want to be creating a family with them, thus I will be in your family. Are you good with this?" And I just think there's something cute about that. So we leave Bose and Lael, and we go to Jennifer Tilly's sip and paint party. So Jennifer Tilly is hosting a sip and paint, and Erika says she's nervous, which I can relate to because I cannot draw. And if you can't draw and you go to a sip and paint, you do need to have a strategy of trying to create the most abstract painting that you can. And the theme is about nude men. So the nude men come out, they're painting. And the funny thing is before this starts, Rachel says, I think, what if it's nude men? Her like makeup artist asks her. She says, I won't be able to draw that. And then Rachel ends up winning the drawing anyways. One model isn't circumcised. One model is posing in the most insane pose. Dorit then does the pose in her confessional. And I really hope that Dorit gets a bunch of DMs from this because she looks hotter than ever. What I also love about Beverly Hills, and you see this as everyone arrives to the party, they're all so well dressed. They all have their own sense of style. And I know I was digging on Kyle earlier for dressing weird when they went to the registry, but she looks great at this party. Everyone looks great at the party. None of them look like they're going to the same place, but they do all look fantastic. And then Rachel mentions that the dress code was boho chic. And I can kind of see where we go there, but everyone took their own take on boho chic. I also felt like in the moment before they get into the painting, Amanda mentions that she has 4 kids. And she was just really trying to keep it cohesive. She says, oh, I have 4 kids. And Bose is being a little messy there in her confessional. She says, if I had stepkids, you can't call the stepkids your kids. If I was their mama, I wouldn't like that. But I think that Bose, and a thing to remember, is that Bose has been a single mom for a while because of her late husband. And so I think her perspective on motherhood is probably a little bit different. I don't think that she's correct in this take. I think it's actually very sweet and helps blended families when everyone can just feel like they are family and you don't do the step, half, quarter, once removed, blah, blah, blah. It's just family is family is family. But I understand where Bose is coming from, so I will show her grace in that moment. Okay, moving on. So once the painting is over, they head into the sitting room again, and they start talking about their personal lives. And Kyle avoids answering if she's dating or having sex.
Kyle is out here dodging them like the damn Matrix.
Which I feel like is kind of intrusive. And I'm going to be really honest, I'm bored of the conversations of what Kyle's up to. I'm bored of it. Like, let's stop asking Kyle about her dating life. She's not going to answer. She's not giving good answers. She doesn't want to talk about it. And I think we need to participate in the Bechdel test with Kyle. Kyle has an interesting life that has nothing to do with what she's dating. She's produced shows. She's designed clothes. She's an actor. I think we need to stop talking about Kyle's dating life. She's planning a wedding. Like, let's get into that. Let's talk about the daughters. Let's talk about Kim. Let's talk about literally anything else. I'm over it. I'm over it. No more asking Kyle about her dating life. It's done. Dorit then takes the stage. They say, Dorit, are you dating? She says, no, my husband's terrorizing me. And she starts talking about PK, who is now blocking this grandparents' trip that we just heard about a few scenes earlier. And Dorit absolutely crumbles in front of everyone. And I actually love that Dorit is giving us a full range of emotion here. She starts with being sad, she's crying, and then she escalates in anger because Kyle is trying to play devil's advocate. And it's just not the right time. It's like, Kyle, please read the room. This is not the time to be like, well, maybe PK isn't it's like, no, it doesn't matter. Your friend is upset. And I don't feel like it's that difficult. And this is coming from someone who I have a lot of couple friends, right? And if the guy in the relationship is treating my girlfriend badly, no matter how cool they are, I don't feel like it's that challenging to say, wow, we didn't realize this guy was going to treat you this way. Wow, what a shocker. I didn't expect that. And all Kyle needs to say is, I didn't expect that to happen, but I'm sorry it's happening. And that would be enough. But instead, she gets into this like defensive position where she kind of starts trying to defend PK. And I don't feel like that's the right approach for what Dorit needs in that moment. And that's why Dorit kind of explodes on her. And everyone's trying to help Dorit. Everyone's trying to give her a strategy of how to handle it. But they end up walking away. And Kyle says when she walks away that she doesn't want to talk about that situation anymore. Which I don't know if that's super fair to say to someone who's meant to be your friend. But I think we're really seeing the deterioration of this friendship between Kyle and Dorit. And it really is a shame because in a moment where they should be coming closer together because of this shared experience, it's actually really breaking them apart. And, you know, that's sad to see because they were seemingly good friends. In the final scene of the episode, Erika arrives to Kyle's house. And like I said, Kyle did get a lot of screen time this episode. And I think something that people don't realize is that this really is Kyle's show. First of all, she's been on the show for the longest, but second of all, Kyle did kind of start this show, and it is meant to be centering her friend group with her sister. And so I do think that this moment, because it is Kyle's show, I do feel like this moment was produced. Kyle puts on her producer hat when Erika arrives, and Erika's just coming over to improv a scene with Kyle. And in this scene, Kyle slowly implies that her relationship with Morgan is one, over, but also two, did exist. And we do get the validation that she was in a relationship with this person. She never says it explicitly, but that is what she's implying. And she also says that the reason why they had to break up because they are no longer seeing each other. And the breakup came because of life in the spotlight. And I feel like this is super anticlimactic because Kyle did come on really strong showing her relationship with Morgan. She was in that music video. She did all of this, having Morgan on the show, all these things, to then pull it back and then want us to all pretend like it didn't happen. And then for Kyle to say, oh, I needed to make her happy. I needed to make her happy. It's like, Morgan's also wrong for putting Kyle in that position. They're both wrong. Morgan knew what Kyle's life was. And she didn't have to go in this path only to be like, oh, it's all too much. And I guess maybe you don't know until you're in it, but it does just seem unfair. And I don't know if it's fair for the viewers. It's not fair for Kyle. It's not fair for Morgan. Kyle then says that she isn't having sex. And I'm going to be honest, I don't care. We have to stop asking these women about their sex lives. I don't care if they're having sex or not. If they want to talk about it because they're being fun and they want to be like Samantha Jones, cool. But if they're not being like that, we need to stop asking. It's like asking if they went to the bathroom that day. I don't care about what they're doing on the toilet, and I don't care about what they're doing in their bedrooms. And we need to stop asking them. That's my take. Sorry. That's an opinion I feel really comfortable having. Also, Kyle mentions, and this is kind of like the somber tone that we end the episode with, that she's so sad that the relationship had to end because of the tabloids. But I do believe that this is a reason to break up with someone. If your life and their life are not copacetic, then it is what it is, babe. So Kyle is, in the end, being vulnerable, showing us everything. But let's be clear, she's doing this only with Erika and not with the group. And that concludes the episode. All right, that's the end of the play-by-play. Now let's check in with our Like Us meter. Remember, these points matter. At the end of the season, we're crowning the most relatable Beverly Hills housewife. It's a science. And our top 3 likes us were Dorit calling her parents, Erika not being able to draw, and Amanda, our manifestation queen. And that's it for the play-by-play for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 15, Episode 2. Thanks for listening. If you liked this breakdown, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, we'll keep asking the only question that matters. Are the housewives actually like us? Make sure to follow, like, subscribe at Like Us Pod on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and also follow me. I'm at Jones-Wesley on all socials. Thanks so much. Bye.